Hello, everyone, and welcome to Parallel Universe, the hotfix show about community-created content. So we're talking custom levels, mods, fan games. I am Helix, and, well, if you enjoyed that Super Mario All-Stars run, then you are in for a treat, because I have a whole bunch of Super Mario Bros. 2 Kaizo to bring you. Can you believe that I haven't had a full Kaizo show yet? That's my fault. But in a way, this is celebratory. I just confirmed this like 30 seconds ago. This is the 50th episode of Parallel Universe, so what better way to celebrate than with Get Glitch Cat 7 running some SMB2 Kaizo. How you doing, Glitch Cat?
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm like very excited. I was preparing for this all week. I took a nap. I drank some coffee. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, same here. So, if you have anything to explain before we get started, go ahead. But other than that, give us a countdown whenever you're ready.
Sure. Okay, so we've got a lot to show off. I'm really excited to show this off. SMB2 Kaizo is relatively unexplored in the Mario fan modding scene. We've seen a lot of the Super Mario World. I'm sure you've seen that by now. There's plenty of it. But Mario 2 is a little bit... It's different. It's the weird one of the bunch, and there's a lot of really interesting tech and a lot of stuff. You're going to see some cool stuff tonight, and I'm really excited to show that off. So, we're going to start off with this one. I made this smiley face. We got a couple. I think we got 4 different segments to show off at least, and we're starting with this. This was made for. We have community races every Saturday on RHR or fan game races. Every week we have a new level, and people make them, and it's a sight reading competition. This was a mini mod that I made for RHR a couple of weeks ago. So this was raced, sight reading race. People didn't know what it was, and this is 4 levels. The aim of this is to show off some Kaizo tricks in SMB2 and some tech and some things you might not have seen. Also, for what it's worth for this, so each level is going to teach you a trick and then kind of have you use the trick. There are also optional one-ups in each level to have you do a more challenging version of the trick, or maybe teach you a little bit something else. For what it's worth, I am going to be going for all the optional one-ups. I know where they all are, and I know how to do all the tricks. So, whenever we're ready to get started, we'll get started with this. This is, I call this Kaizo Catnap. Because it's little, it's a little catnap. Also, important to note, Subcon is the world where Mario 2 takes place. We're probably going to reference that a bunch. Subcon, the land of dreams. So that's why Kaizo Catnap. But yeah, we can count it down and get ready to go. Are you ready for time?
Absolutely. Give us a count.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. Luigi time. So, 4 levels. And we're going to learn a trick in each one. So in this one, we're going to learn about these vine jumps. This is the first area. And you can just do a vine jump like this, but I'm going to try to get the one-up to start. And this is actually one of the hardest little side tricks in this. So while I fail this for a moment, I will explain vine jumps. There, oh, got it, all right. So at the edge of a vine, normally when you're climbing like this, you might slip off the edge, right? But at the edge of the vine, you count as standing. And so you can get a jump off of the vine if you press the jump button right as you're sliding off the edge, just like that. Every character has a different frame. Whoa, okay, and I'm falling in the water. That's fine. Kaizo. Every character has a different frame window to get a vine jump. Luigi's is the most lenient. I wish I knew exactly what that frame window was. I think it's 7. If you've seen the vanilla speedrun for SMB2, you will have seen some vine jumps. And all doors are checkpoints in this. Here's a little way to clip through the floor. By standing on that Shy Guy, we can clip through the ceiling, and then by grabbing that veggie, we also can clip through the ceiling. Just a fun thing. Everything that you're seeing, for what it's worth, is vanilla, which is to say vanilla modding parlance for the original game. So all these tricks would work in the original physics engine. I haven't modified that physics engine at all. And these are just tricks that are possible, but sometimes you can't actually use them or see them because you don't have the situation available. And we're going to see a couple of things like that. So here we're going to fight Birdo in the first boss fight of this, and the trick here is that you are invincible when you're in the item picking up animation. You notice how that fire is just going right through me? That is because as long as I'm picking something up, watch for the animation, there it is. Oops, and as long as I'm picking something up, I am invincible. Now I kind of need the damage boost here. Okay, I'm dead. We get to see it again. Let's get some nerves out. But yeah, that's the idea with this. And again, you can, I'm not sure if the vanilla speedrun uses that or not. I'm pretty sure it does at some point. But this is a super interesting property that you can use kind of all over the place in SMB2 modding. And you might actually see that again in some later stuff, just to kind of save myself from getting hurt by something. But there we go. Grab the orb, and I need the damage boost to get out of here. And please, while we're here, please acknowledge this wall face. There's a face in the wall. That's a tradition in SMW Kaizo to put a funny face in the wall in levels. I just wanted to do it here. Just say hello to our friend Wallface. Here we go, level 1-2, and this is Toad. And what we're doing here is we're gonna recycle these vegetables. So when you throw a veggie and knock something out, that flying vegetable is still real. It still exists. And so what we can do is re-catch that. And you might have, again, seen this in the vanilla speedrun. They use it to recycle veggies to kill Birdo a little bit faster. But in modding, we can use this property to make all kinds of interesting levels. And so in this case, we're gonna take this veggie. We need to bring it all the way to the top. 2, 3, hey, got it, all right. We need to bring it all the way to the top to take out that Shy Guy. And then we're gonna go all around here, go over on the spikes. There we go. Okay, so here's one. I'll show this off, kind of take our time here, the leisurely speed walk. So normally maybe we'll go in the door over here, but there's a 1-up down there. We want to get the extra 1-up, but how would we do that, right? Toad can't jump this big gap. Or can he? You can jump off of the top of the vegetable in midair, and then here, kind of riffing on the vanilla speedrun, there are 2 veggies up top, but we know that Birdo takes 3 hits, so we want to, oh yeah, recycle that. And just for fun, like I said, we're gonna go for all 1-ups percent, I suppose, in this. So we got to come over here. We're going to do a little trick. So normally, if you're holding down, you're going to grab that vine. So it's kind of a little precision trick to jump accurately there, get past that vine, and be able to get up into that space for the 1-up. (1-3). So we got Peach. Peach has some really fun tech. Basically, if you jump without floating, you may float on the way down. And that's kind of difficult to explain. I hope that makes sense. What I can do here is jump and float in, right? I'm not floating at the top of my jump. I'm floating on the way down. It is jumping, not landing, that refreshes your float. And we get to see that again because I screwed up. I made this, so, if I screw up, I'm fired. We got to take out this Porcupo over there with the veggie. We're going to float in, and we're going to bop that. We're going to get that guy over there. We have to run up real quick, because otherwise that red Shy Guy is going to walk off the edge. And we need to stand on this red Shy Guy to get a super jump. By holding down, you charge that super jump, and you can jump a little bit higher. And here we go. This is straight out of SMW Kaizo, but the... oh, I wanted to get it one shot. The midair. Throw the shell, and... oh, so close. We're gonna throw the shell, and instead of bouncing off of it, because you don't like, Mario 1, Mario 3, when you jump on an enemy, you kind of just hold the button and boost. You don't have that in Mario 2, so you throw the shell beneath your feet, and you can actually press the jump button to jump off of it. And now here we're learning about these Sparkies. They will, see how they don't cross this line? Any object, the water, trees, clouds, anything that isn't just empty air, the Sparkies will not cross that. And so in modding, we can use that property to, make some interesting paths for the Sparkies. And in the race that we had, this section was a little bit tricky, but I like to end my sections sometimes in a race level with a puzzle. So just like the Sparkies, these mushroom blocks will sit on anything. Water, cherries, clouds, you name it. So we got to arrange them in order to get in here. And now, chat, we got another friend to say hello to. Please say hello to non-binary Pride Birdo. There they are up there. Birdos have 3 different colors, so in modding, we can make a lot of Pride-themed Birdos, pretty much any Pride Birdo under the sun. And this is non-binary Pride Birdo. They are here to help. actually, they are not the boss. They are helping us by chucking these eggs down. And I want to land on an egg, pick it up in midair, and then we're going to bring them up here and use them to take out the real boss. Who do you think the real boss is? Can you identify the one other thing on the screen?
I see what looks like a shy guy in the top right corner.
Yep.
Just hanging out.
Yep. So in modding, what we can do is kind of designate any sprite as the boss. And when we do that, when you destroy that sprite in particular, the boss door opens up. So we can make that shy guy a boss. So
Also,
final one, this is...
shout out to Non-Binary Birdo, and shout out to the Non-Binary People's Day showcase that I have currently on its second year. Happened earlier this year.
Exciting. That's awesome. So we're gonna show off some, I call this sprite levitation. If you have a POW block, here, I'll show you how this works. If you have a POW block, you have to actually throw the POW block on the ground and set off the shockwave. Sorry about that. But if you have a POW block and you throw it, watch the key on the right, as well as the orb. They bounce up. See how sprites bounce up just a little bit? Ouch. Oh, come on. So the sprites are going to bounce up a little bit when the shockwave of the POW goes off. And if you're standing on a sprite that's bouncing, you levitate really high in the air. And if you're standing on a levitating sprite, you clip through the ceiling. Isn't that cool? And here we go. Now you really want to see a cool trick? This is one that I don't even know if the vanilla speedrunners know. So basically, in this level, we want to go in this jar. There it is. And here's where we're going to go later. But I hit a little something special. There's an invisible door right here. And we're going to try for this trick. So, a little bit of setup for this one. We're going to do that sprite levitation trick, and then I'm going to go up and I'm going to bounce my head on the ceiling. If I pick up the orb at the exact moment that I'm bonking my head on the ceiling, something cool is going to happen. And I screwed up. But you can see, right, there's two one-ups. So there's two tricks to learn in this area. How do we get them? Well, I don't know. You know, can't get through the floor, right? But turns out, let's see if I do this just right. Nope, okay. Don't worry, we can reset the room. Fanto is here to judge us. Nope. Nope, I don't, to be honest, I should have done some research. I don't know what the frame window for this is, but it is kind of low. So we just want to pick.
This looks awfully precise.
Yeah. Nope, okay. All right, we got it, don't worry. Fanto is judging us though, just a little bit. There we go, okay. There we go. So you bonk it and you get yourself displaced and you can clip through the floor in order to get through that. And now, how do we get the second one? It's way up there. I can't climb this, and I also can't, I can jump up here, but I couldn't get under that. So how do we get this second one? Well, in this case, we're gonna stand here. We're gonna bonk. We're gonna do the same bonk again. But in this case, once I clip through the floor, I'm gonna continue to hold down. And this is the kind of trick that you could really only find something like this by making mods, right? I think there's only one situation in the vanilla game. There we go, got it. And now I'm displaced a little bit. As long as I keep holding down, I'm displaced and I can jump right through the floor. Grab that one up. And this is the kind of thing, like, you can only find this when you're making mods. When you take the game apart and get to rearrange it, you get to uncover some interesting properties. And here's the cool one, right? Okay, we're gonna go in the jar, right? Okay, wow, I'm in a new area. What the? And I'm out of the jar. So what is going on here? I need to avoid jumping off the top of the screen. In SMB2, when you go into a jar, you can consider yourself to have jar state. Think of how jars work in the original game. You go into the jar and then you do something and you come back out the top and then you jump out the top of the screen. Well, we can make that happen here and make a kind of a funny little troll where I now have a section where anytime I go off the top of the screen, I come out the top of the jar. I've made this kind of chill for the race, but you could make this really, really challenging and really silly. But there we go. We got the POW out. We're going to levitate up through the floor. And now our final challenge is, of course, kindness. Because I really like the ninjas. I think they're great. I think they're adorable. And I don't want to hurt them. So we must not hurt the ninja with the POW in order to get up here. And that's going to be GG. Just a little one. Yeah, just a little race.
Ninja doesn't care about spikes.
No, yeah, ninja. No, they love spikes. They love them. And I got a fun little GG screen here. I am big fan of the ninjas. I just think they're great. They're my friends, and you know, they can toss them around a little bit, but they are our friends. And that is GG on this on Kaizo Catnap. Kind of a quick one. Like I said, it was for a race. So for our community races, we want to have people out, you know, realistically beat the level in 2 hours or so. Everybody did a great job on the community race. It was really, really fun. And I think Germdove, shout outs to Germdove who won this one. But Echo, I know I saw you in chat, also did a really great job on this. So that was Kaizo Catnap by me. We got other stuff coming up though, so.
Yes, do not go away.
Yes.
There's some more very cool stuff coming up. I'm really glad we started with this. Your explanations were so thorough, well explained, on point for the whole duration of this fan game. So yeah, thank you so much for showing it off. GlitchCat will be back in just a few minutes with Bunny Panic, including commentary from the creator. But before we take our break to set up for that, I want to really quick give a thank you to everyone who is supporting Games Done Quick with your subscriptions, gift subs, and bits cheered. Your contributions help keep our shows running. So if you're enjoying the stream, please consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and access to chat during our replays. But of course, you can also support the stream by sharing the Games Done Quick channel with your friends. We'll be right back as we get set up for Bunny Panic. Do not go away. Hello, everyone. I told you that would be quick. Thank you for sticking around through the break. You are watching Parallel Universe on GDQ Hotfix, the show about community-created content. The 50th episode of said show, by the way. I'm Helix, and there's a whole lot more Super Mario Bros. 2 Kaizo, if I could speak. So, how about we stop listening to me and start listening to GlitchCat 7?
Okay. Hi. Well, I'm back, and this is really cool. I'm really glad to be able to show this one off. This is Bunny Panic. I keep calling it Bunny Bun Panic. That's wrong. There's two bunnies. We've got CO Kadelic, the creator of this mod, with us here on commentary. CO, hello.
Hi. How's it going?
Hi. It's going really well, and I'm excited to show this one off. This is hard. Let me just say, this is like one of actually the hardest SMB2 mods that I know about right now. This is like sneaky hard, and I was practicing this like for this presentation, and I just kept thinking like, wow, like ouch, ooh, wow, oof, my bones. So like, CO, do you want to intro this one and we'll get started?
Yeah. So this is my adventure into Super Mario Bros. 2. I guess most people may know me for my Super Mario World fan games and stuff. I guess I also played a lot of UFO 50 now. But before that, I was dipping into Super Mario Bros. 2 to check it out. Glitch Cat made it look really fun with Return to Subcon. And I wanted to dip my toes in it too. And I did not mean to make something this hard, but it should be pretty fun to watch through.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, do you want to? Why is it Bunny Bunny?
Oh, it's Bunny Bunny because my wife, Princess Bun Bun, is the inspiration for all of my fan games and stuff. And it's specifically Bunny Bunny Panic because it's a twist on Doki Doki Panic.
Oh, I just like that. I like that. I love that.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, do we want to get started? This is going to be a big one. We're gonna spend some time with this. You ready on time?
I think we're good.
Yeah, all right. You're good to go.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right. So this is Bunny Bunny Panic. Kind of similar to what you'll see in a lot of other Super Mario Bros. 2 Kaizo stuff. It's normally like specifically for each character, like each level's kind of designed for each character. So we'll start to see that through these opening levels where it kind of just shows off a little bit of how you can move with each character. And I made these levels in order, so you'll kind of start to see them get a little more complex and interesting, I think, as we start to go through.
Yeah, I did the same thing with Return to Subcon. It was all in order, and I'm going to be died. Okay, dead. This is tricky. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
This one's gonna be. It's gonna be tricky.
There's a lot of spots in here where you can kind of just straight up die. Unfortunately, I did try to take a couple of inspiration notes from Glitch's fan game Return to Subcon, where you don't have to get through most segments with both hearts, and there's a decent amount of checkpointing and stuff. I guess for those that don't know, every time you enter a door or a cave entrance or whatever, it's a new checkpoint. So even though you do die, I try to keep the segments relatively short.
Yeah, that's why I'm going for doors very often. I don't necessarily need to. Honestly, a really optimized speedrun would probably ignore a lot of them, but we're gonna play it a little bit safe, a little bit of marathon strats here.
Yeah.
And also, I'm avoiding some plants. There is like an extreme version of this with lives. This has infinite lives. The extreme version would have us actually getting coins and to get the slot machine at the end for some extra lives.
Yeah, in case this wasn't hard enough. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that's even attempted that challenge mode because even with infinite lives, this one's tricky.
You know what? I'll do it. I've been practicing this. I was
gonna say you definitely can. I've seen enough already to know you can do it.
No Birdo in this one?
So there was a Birdo here, and I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of an annoying fight, so I kind of just took her out and left the orb behind.
You know what? Fair enough. But yeah, that's something we're talking about SMB2 modding. Want to give really big shout outs, we didn't even say yet, D2the4th, who created SMB2 Edit, which is the program that we use to modify this game. And with SMB2 Edit, you can choose whether or not you want like all characters available for a level or one character in particular. And CO, I think you also kind of feel this way with this game. It's fun to make character-specific levels because you get to kind of lean into the physical properties of one character, right? You're making a Luigi level, it's got big Luigi jumps. You're making a Peach level, it's got some floating parts, and it's kind of fun. It's also kind of challenging if you're making Kaizo, which is to say sort of a singular through line of motion, right? Kaizo obstacle design is very linear and kind of Ultimate Ninja Warrior-esque. There is one way to do the thing, and that can be really tricky to do. How do you balance a level that is Luigi and Toad, for example, right? You know, Luigi might just jump over something. Cheese is a big problem, so having one character in particular, it's a fun way to show it off. It's a fun way to show off each character's unique abilities.
Yeah, and that's honestly, on that note, one of the most fun things with Super Mario Bros. 2 design is you can limit it like that. If you're more interested in like standard level design, it's also definitely possible to make levels that are playable with multiple characters and stuff. But I think there's only one level in this that even gives you the option for it, because it is a little easier to be restrictive on that.
Hey, this isn't Peach.
This is Bud Bud.
Aw. Oh, is it? Is that's it's?
Yeah, it's Bun because the teal hair. Whenever I design Bun stuff in game, she's normally modeled after Daisy, so she's got a little bit of resemblance there too. But
yeah, I was gonna say I thought this was supposed to be Daisy. It's an H. Yeah. I really like your palette work in particular. I've always really liked your palettes. They're vibrant, they're exciting, and they're just fun. It's fun to do. Oh, there's that upward rising sprite. You notice we're just kind of standing on top of that Trouter, and just being able to clip through the ceiling. That's that same property that we saw previously with the POW block. You'll see that again a little bit later in this game too, but just watch for standing on any sprite that is rising upward like that will just clip you through the ceiling. That's just a Mario 2 thing. That is just how it works.
Yeah, and if you're playing this game and maybe a little less experienced in Super Mario Bros. 2, I think this was also in the fan game that we just saw, but there are brand new, at least to this game, pause message hints that you can do. And basically in any one of these little areas, thank you. If you're confused about the tech and stuff, major shout outs to Circle Friendo for putting that together.
Yes. Circle Friendo has been so amazingly helpful. She's been helping me put together my new fan mod, and she has just added so many great tools and quality of life things for SMB2. The thing with it really is that, you know, in other games, Super Mario World in particular, like I said, we've all seen SMW mods at this point, but we're kind of spoiled with Mario World. We have a ton of quality of life. We have a ton of custom assets and things to help us mod the game. There's another one of those sprite clips. SMB2, we kind of don't. It's a little bit unexplored territory, and being on NES, the memory limitations can be a little trickier to work with. It'll crash a little bit more. I love this palette, by the way. Someone said it looks like a Tetris level, nice. And I agree. But we're gonna get into fight Mouser. There he is. It's him.
Yeah, so
you know how to do it.
Bosses are fun in this game. They're actually pretty rigid in what they normally do, but you can design some pretty creative arenas around here. That one's mostly just protecting your ground so you can actually leave the level, which Glitch was able to do perfectly fine. So.
Yeah, we don't have, in SMW, we have a lot of custom bosses and custom sprites. Not so much in Mario 2, so it's really about recontextualizing the behavior of the boss, right? Mouser's behavior is the same as the vanilla game. We just build a new, like you said, you build a new arena in order to fight Mouser.
Yeah,
and then the two from that.
It's really surprising, honestly, how different these bosses feel, even with just like a little bit of changes to them. And this room in particular is a pretty tricky one where you got to dig this little shy guy down to the bottom.
No, I don't.
You don't have to. If you want to carry him down.
Actually, it's a little faster. Yeah, it's a little faster just to skip that second one. But again, I like this because we get to do a few unintended strats. Like, I think that makes it. Oh! I'm so dead.
I'm surprised you were alive for that long.
Yeah, quicksand can be a little strange. We're gonna see some other cool quicksand obstacles coming up here in a minute. It took me a minute to realize I wanted to get the snake to jump up and then actually do a second jump here.
Yeah.
Get that mushroom for safety because I'm gonna want to take a damage boost a little bit later in this section. Gonna ride the Shy Guy. Gonna ride the shell. Okay, here comes the tough part. We're gonna get under here. and then we're going,
Yeah, that can happen.
quicksand, yeah. So again, we're looking at like, this is the game recontextualized. And so the thing to understand, I think, about all mods, especially mods of older games like this, is like, this is not how you're supposed to do this. It's the, I don't need that. This is brought it for no reason. But this is the dad from the Lego movie being like, what are you doing? Quicksand doesn't work that way. The Goomba is not supposed to go over there. And so sometimes things can happen. We're exploiting unintended behaviors, and sometimes unintended behaviors can exploit us.
Yeah. And specifically with Super Mario Bros. 2, there was a point in time where even trying to like modify more than a couple levels at a time sometimes corrupted everything.
Yeah. Yeah. You and I have really been doing this for some time, and actually, like, it's been fun to see the developments in modding tech that have occurred. Shout out to, Red Feathers, who realized that when we started modding this game, we would get to worlds 5 and 6, and then things would just crash and be bad. And Red Feathers, it was Red Feathers, right, who realized,
I think so,
if we just blank out all the level data in the entire game before we start changing anything, it will behave better for some reason.
For some reason, this game has lots of like copies of levels all over the place, and it just kind of takes up a lot of space. So if you just do a little bit of pre-cleaning, I guess, it should be fine. Also, this segment is surprisingly tricky because some of these heart locations are not exactly in the... like this heart right there specifically is always pretty tricky. But
yeah, there's a few levels in this that are definitely like more run killer than others.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to show you. I'm excited to show you one thing that I found.
Yeah, I can't wait. I watched a little bit of the practice leading up to this, but I haven't seen anything within like the past couple of days, so.
Oh, right. I forgot. I can use the Bezo, to go faster. I don't need to use the bomb to clear out that Porcupo. I could just get the Bezo to come back. I need that over here. Okay, and then, we got the double stacked Pokey up there, which Pokies don't like to obey ground. Pokies are just, if you just place them, they're just going to run around and they're going to go through walls and they're not going to follow the ground. They just literally move along that one line that you set them on. Here we go again for Triclide. So there's that mushroom blocks kind of sit on anything. They're going to sit on the top of the quicksand. They're even going to sit on the top of the trees. And I'm actually trying my best to throw the mushroom block when I am not in front of the tree, because it's actually possible to throw the mushroom blocks into a tree, and the mushroom blocks will just overwrite the tree graphic. But there we go. There's our Triclide. I like your little sad face in there too.
Thanks. It actually ended up being a pretty fun design for an arena. I mostly just drew it because it was fun at first, but...
Speaking of fun, here we go. So, this level, we get to see something funny. So here's Ostro, and Ostro has the little Shy Guy rider, and Ostro was never... Ouch! Okay, we get to see this a few times. This is one of the toughest levels in the game, actually. Yeah. This is a run killer. But Ostro was never really meant to exist on a vertical level. So you're seeing some silliness when you scroll the screen, Ostro and the rider keep separating like this. And so now ooh, nice. Oh, I actually got that landing. So the red Shy Guy is like not a threat anymore. You see them just kind of flying around. We're going to meet back up with them later, but the red Shy Guy just isn't killing me. This is what happens when you put Ostro on a vertical and I'm dead. And we get to see it again. This is what happens when you put Ostro on a vertical level. And this is just, I think this is like kind of the beauty of modding, and something that I really enjoy is just being able to take apart things in the game and see how they react in situations they were never supposed to be in. There's a lot of like basic stuff in Mario World modding that is like literally the result of you never could do that in the original game, and we're doing it here. And it's interesting that like just to see how the engine reacts, if you
and it's honestly
if you try to mess with it.
Pretty surprising that most of the time the game actually just kind of lets you do it. It may not be like the exact way that it maybe should be for these guys, for instance, but like the game's still letting you play this stuff.
Yeah.
And half the fun of the design is just seeing like what else can the game do that it was never meant to do.
That's one of my favorite things about mods and fan games is exactly what you just described, doing things that you maybe weren't meant to do, but the game still lets you do it.
Yeah, there's a really explorative kind of nature to it. You know, a lot of people would think like, well, we're designing, we're doing game dev. And yeah, that's a big part of it, but exploration, you know, just taking these games that we love and exploring like the permutations of the physics engine. I actually need a damage boost for this.
Yeah,
but I think that's so, I don't know, it's beautiful to me. Just the explorative aspect of modding.
It's very fun and freeing for sure. This level as a whole, by the way, is honestly probably the hardest level in the hack, especially for how early it is.
Yeah. Also, I'm not exactly sure what the intended strat for this part is. So I'm gonna just. Oh, I have a strat. I'm gonna take the damage boost at the end. But while I was playing this, I was like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do at this point.
The pause message is the pause message is pretty cryptic, but basically, if you separate the Shy Guy and the Ostro in this segment, Ostro will keep running forward and kind of doing whatever it wants to do. And then specifically at the end, if you separate him, he like kind of runs across the spikes for a couple of seconds before just kind of blowing up for some reason.
I see.
But I could have maybe made that a little more clear in the pause message. This is
learn.
Yeah, this is the first fan game that has the pause messages and stuff, so we were still definitely figuring it out on the fly.
Oh, whoops. Can I save this? Maybe I can save this.
I think
we got
so.
The stop. Whoa, yeah. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. We got the stopwatches in this. Normally in the vanilla game, if you pull up 5 big vegetables, the 5th one will create a stopwatch that freezes enemies like this. But D4, in her infinite wisdom, actually allowed us to just isolate the stopwatch sprite and place it wherever we want in levels, which is really fun because you can make these kind of timed run challenges. There we go.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite, I guess technically vanilla, but not really things in this game.
Yeah. Author Blues, my good friend Author Blues, our good friend Author Blues, was a big friend and supporter of SMB2 mods. And Author Blues had a really nice way of describing the challenge of designing with SMB2 is that, I need a super jump. To quote Author Blues, I need a super jump. But Auth mentioned like, I need the potion. But there just aren't a lot of verbs in Mario 2. And by verbs we mean like a text adventure game. Get lamp, investigate desk. There just isn't a lot here. And so unlike SMW where we just have endless amounts of resources and custom fun things and all sorts of stuff, Mario 2 level design is more of a challenge to just make something interesting out of a small amount of elements. And personally, I think, CO, we feel the same. Like, I really like that. I really enjoy the challenge of almost like figuring out, I wanted the bomb to drop on Birdo, but almost the challenge of figuring out what the only possible situation could be. You have a Shy Guy and 2 spikes. Can you make something interesting out of that?
Yeah, and especially for like a full game of editing Super Mario Bros. And stuff, just even trying to figure out like how you can even make throwing, which is obviously a pretty big deal in Super Mario Bros. 2. How you can do that with a way that's interesting and still fun to do, but also not just like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I like haiku. I like art that works in some kind of limitations. I think that's fun, and I think limitations can breed good creativity.
Yeah,
it helps you. It's an idea helper, and I love that about Mario 2. I've been working on my own SMB2 mod, a sequel to my first one, and I've spent like 8 years on it. Partially because it's just such a challenge to figure out how to make something interesting. Okay, CO, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but this is what I wanted to show you. We're gonna get on the spikes. We're gonna charge the super jump, and
Oh, that's so funny. Okay,
Bye,
so
level.
this segment is actually pretty tricky if you do it on the underside, but I'd never even thought to just hop over, say hi to the whales, and say bye to the whales.
We're just not gonna do that.
That was a segment.
So yeah, that was the one I was
practice.
excited to show you. I didn't know if you'd seen that or not.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that yet. That's funny. That segment specifically is one that actually took me quite a lot in my practice too. So honestly, I'm glad that there's just a run over the top for it. No.
Yeah, I wanted to get around that.
Won't be the only time we see
around.
those whales.
Oh, dude, I love the whales. The whales are some of my favorites. Chat, what is your favorite Mario 2 friend? You know, I want to hear some opinions. Is it the whales? Is it the Shy Guys? I'm gonna say Ninjas because I think they're great and I love them. They're my friends. But who's yours? CO, who's your favorite SMB2 friend?
I think I gotta go with the little hedgehog because he's both adorable and also very helpful.
Yeah, Porky-Po. Yeah, definitely talking about lack of verbs in building Mario 2. Porky-Po is a great enemy because they damage you, but you can't pick them up, right? Sometimes in modding, the challenge is to work around the inherent power of the player, right? Because the player has lots of abilities, the player can cheese your designs. And so like you might put an enemy there to block the player, but the player can just pick them up and throw them, and now they're a weapon. So yeah, Porky-Po does a really good job of de-cheesing specific problems. I'm sorry, Ninja and Flurry. I like to think that there's a fun water slide down there. It's not a pit, they're not dead. There's just a fun water slide, and they just want to go and ride on the fun water slide down there. So whenever I throw a Ninja in a pit, they're just going down the water slide. They're fine.
It reminds me of that Nathan Fielder meme where he's like, my friends are just off camera laughing and having a good time as he's just sitting there smiling.
Flurry. See, have you messed around at all with using flurries not in World 4?
I actually I had a little bit more of World 6 design where we used flurries again. But sort of getting back what we were talking about with red feathers and cleaning the ROM and all that or whatever. It's been that one specifically got cut, but I do know that they are pretty fun in other worlds.
Yeah. If you put them in World 2, for example, they actually. Okay, come on. The graphics are different. Like the graphics are kind of corrupted, but not really corrupted. In World 2, they look like pokey heads just moving around. And in World 7, they look like the little subcon citizens that you save at the end of the game, which is kind of cool. Oops,
That's really funny. I didn't know about World 7.
Yeah, if you put them in World 7, and it's funny too, because the little subcons, the graphics are corrupted, but it looks like they're like walking forward and trying to stab with a little knife. It's super funny, actually. Give it a try sometime. It's great.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's really fun. And who said Albatos as your favorite Mario 2 buddy? Because here they are in this area.
Yeah, the fact that chat seems to have a different SMB2 friend for everyone is just a sign that SMB2 enemies are really good.
Yeah, I like them. You know, I just really like SMB2. There a long time ago. Here's a little backstory, but a long time ago, 2018, 2017-ish, D to the Fourth, who's just such a kind and wonderful individual. D to the Fourth came into my chat while I was streaming and just basically asked, like, what game needs an editor that doesn't have one? And I just thought they were making conversation, and I'm glad I didn't give a joke answer. And I said Mario 2, and she came back like a week or two later and was like, oh, I made an editor for Mario 2. And that, we have D4 to thank for that, because before that, there was an older editor called, the SMB2 Discombobulator, which is a great name for an editor, like 10 out of 10, no notes. And but yeah, D4 came out with this editor and like single-handedly revolutionized SMB2 modding and just opened this up in a way that just hadn't been done before. It's so fun. It's like talking about exploration. Yeah. D4 is amazing. Like, please, shout out to D4. She's just such a wonderful, kind individual. And
shout out to anyone who makes editors, tools, utilities to enable people to continue to create mods in games that they're passionate about.
Yes.
It's you really are the unsung heroes.
Yes, the resource creators, the quality of life creators is such a labor of love. And people ask, well, why aren't there mods for this game or that game? I love this Fry Guy fight, by the way. Why aren't there mods for this game or that game? Well, it's because one dedicated individual hasn't spent tons of hours and brain power to make one editor for one game. And that's, it's sometimes like really what it takes. And so, yeah, we really, absolutely true. Unsung heroes.
It's tough. I'm not a programmer. I'm like, I organize events and I host events. I'm not a programmer or anything. So the fact that people are not only can do these things, but sometimes do these things and make these resources for free is incredible to me.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially with how not programmer friendly these are. Like, I'm definitely not a programmer either. I think Glitchy can also probably attest to not really being much of a programmer.
Yep. Not at all.
The fact that we're able to kind of just sit down and more or less like draw these levels at this point into what we want them to be is pretty cool.
Yeah. I level design is my passion. It's so fun, and ever since I was a kid, like shout outs to all the folks who, I don't know, CO, did you do this? Like, I'm a kid in school and I'm bored in class, and so I'm drawing my own Mario level on a folder or something. I'm like thinking about that, as a kid.
Mine were
it's so fun to be able to get into that. Yeah,
mine were little stick figure drawings on the top of my things, I think, but yeah.
Yep. Unlocked a hidden core memory for me.
Yep. I like the bomb platforming right there.
Yeah, thanks.
And there's a porky pose. Sweet. Oh.
So Glitch kind of showed it off there, but pretty much everything in SMB2, if it doesn't hurt you, you can land on it and use it as a platform, and that includes bombs, which is pretty weird but fun.
Yeah, bomb platforming is good for Kaizo too, because you're constantly pulling up and creating temporary platforms for yourself that might explode. Ow.
Yeah.
Oh, ninjas. And then we're seeing again the mushroom blocks bonk on the water. Like literally any object. We're gonna see that again here in just a second. Mushroom blocks will sit on literally anything, which is both kind of. Oh, Ninja, I'm so sorry, buddy. Enjoy the fun water slide down there. Saved it. Yeah, here we go. So we're gonna see that again. Mushroom blocks are gonna sit on anything at all. Oh, you.
One of the fun things about SMB what each world already has. Sometimes you get little special things like this where the mushroom blocks just and sometimes you get special desert graphics for a world, and sometimes you get fun stuff for World 7 that you don't see anywhere else. So lots of fun stuff in SMB2. Like Glitch has kind of mentioned, it is a little bit more restrictive, I would say, but the restriction isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're willing to just kind of go with it, I think.
We're all right?
Yeah,
I'm seeing
fine.
some Fs.
We're fine.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
But by
That's
the
okay.
by the time I noticed and looked, we were back.
Okay, we're so back. Oh no, man. Okay, I'm really
Even
screwing this up.
speedrunning the recovery.
Shout out to our tech crew.
Thanks, tech crew. Always
Tech crew.
doing the best. Tech crew, we love you.
But sort of getting back to a point Glitch made earlier, this fan game is really hard. I designed it in mind where you could probably damage boost through like one obstacle or so per section. And you kind of see the benefits of that damage boost there specifically. Like if you're not able to get that Shy Guy run and stuff, you can kind of just do a big old Luigi jump up there instead. And that's one aspect of SMB2 Kaizo that I think kind of helps it set apart. Glitch did that a lot in Return to Subcon, where you didn't necessarily have to keep all of your health the entire way through. And it leads to fun moments like this, where like you can get the obstacle that way, or if you don't really feel like learning that one in particular, you don't have to.
Yeah, another interesting aspect of that is, so like, and something I'm thinking about when I'm designing the mod that I'm working on now is, it helps to you have 2 hit points, or you could give them 3 or 4 hit points even, but by default you have the 2. You could make it a one-hit KO for everything. There are patches for that. You could, if you wanted to be super mean about it. But the interesting thing about having the 2 hit points is it helps the casual run, because it makes the casual run more lenient, but it also makes the speed run a little more interesting, because now you have a free damage boost to use anywhere you want. And now it is a one-hit KO. Look out for this. Those freaking spikes. And now it is, right? Now it's a more challenging run. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to take a death here on purpose, because I want to be big. CO, I didn't know if you knew about this strat or not, but my favorite crab emotes in chat, please, Claw Grip. I like this strat a lot for old Claw Grip here. We're just going to continually respawn this Sniff It, and there we go. Easy.
Nice. Yeah. There is actually a way on that note to have that Sniff It kill in like one cycle, but it's like really awkward to do.
Yeah, I tried for the one cycle, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the extra, right, you take the extra hit, and now you're saving time, but you're making it voluntarily harder on yourself. And I really, really like that duality. SMW Kaizo speedrunning is awesome and good, and we love it. But good. But it can just be beat the level using the intended strats and just don't die, and maybe fall a little faster here or there. It's very cut and dry, and I don't mean that disparagingly. It's just a little cut and dry, whereas SMB2 Kaizo, you can open it up like that. You can do some strats. You can take some damage boosts. I think that's super interesting. I really, really I like that about it, because I like speed runs where you do get to do something unintended. You get to break the game a little bit. You get to do some routing as opposed to just beat the level,
Yeah.
That's just me. Ow.
I agree. I think that's something that even in my Super Mario World levels, I like to try to throw in as much as I can. It's just like a little bit of, if you're good enough, go ahead and break it. I don't really care. And we've seen that a couple of times already where it ends up working out. Also, shout outs once again to the pause messages, because Circle Friendo has like single-handedly saved a lot of Super Mario Bros. 2 stuff.
Circle, you're so great. Whoa.
Yep.
Circle is actually, I've been working with Circle to have, okay, you know what? Yeah, I gotta get this Bezo jump just right here.
Yeah.
No, I'm bailing. I'm bailing out. But Circle has been helping me put something really exciting together for Return to Subcon 2, the Nova project.
Yeah.
I don't see. Oh, you've seen it, right?
I've seen it. It's really
you
cool.
play tested. Yeah.
Y'all will definitely like that one when it comes out. And on the Circle note, we actually just made a couple of levels together in Super Mario World over the past couple of weekends, and yeah, they're really fun. She's great to work with. Just want to give her more shout outs, because this fan game would not have been standing really without her help. So also, if y'all are wondering why we saw like one segment of World 6, it's because of those weird corruption issues we were talking about earlier. So even though this fan game feels like it's pretty long in the first couple of worlds with each level being explored, towards the end of the game, it's like one level per world. And see some interesting orb stuff there. If you have an orb up at the top of the screen that's linked to a Birdo that's like on a screen below it, I think, it'll like carry the movement with it, assuming
Yeah.
it's a boss, but it just kind of freaks out at the end and decides to just pop a couple tiles over to the right.
So here's something you might appreciate, CO. I was actually, and I didn't quite like get it right, but it is possible. You could do like a double Birdo fight where one Birdo has the orb and then you defeat that Birdo and then the orb transfers to the second Birdo.
Oh,
Like
that's cool.
auto magically.
Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff you can do with, honestly, just the bosses in general in SMB2. But especially with D4's ability to kind of make any enemy a boss if you want to.
Yes.
There's a surprising amount of flexibility and stuff that you can do with that.
Yeah. And, you know, unabashedly, I think maybe probably you feel the same way. My hope is to maybe get more people interested in SMB2 modding because I really would like some more stuff to play.
Yeah.
I would love to have more SMB2 mods to play. So on that note, if folks are interested, if you're thinking like, hey, wow, this is really cool, SMW Central just opened up a SMB2 section of the site. You can go to smwcentral.net. We have it on the Discord and also on the website. CO and I are both SMB2 helper staff for SMW Central, and you know, if you're looking for like the where is the SMB2 modding community right now, we're on SMW Central. So we would love to make some new friends and have some new folks check it out. And here we go. It's time for it's him or her. I don't. What gender is your wart here? Tell us about wart.
Well, we'll go they, them, even though they're pink. Why not?
Right on. I wanted to be polite and ask.
You had non-binary Burno. We have non-binary Wart, even though they're pink.
They do give non-binary energy. I can't explain it, but
Yeah.
they do.
All right. Oh, time on this one is coming up. Whoa, Jesus, I fall in the pit. Fun fact about wart, you don't actually have to throw the veggies in their mouth. You just have to hit them while their mouth is open. So I can actually just aim for their tummy, and they're fine. They just take the hit anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you for making this game, CO. This has been such a joy to play and to run. I don't think I'm done running this.
Nice.
And the strats are super fun. Thank you for this. This is a
Of
really,
course.
really great job, CO.
Thank you for playing. This was lots of fun to watch.
So fun. And that is time.
And yeah, if y'all are interested, feel free to add more to SMB2 because we'll definitely play it.
That was ultra quick.
We need more
GG.
SMB2.
Yeah, well, and you know, you were talking about all of the SMB2 stuff that's available that people can play, and you know, hopefully people will continue to create more. But for that matter, you know, those of you watching, if you're out there and you go and play some of these and you start speedrunning them yourself, I would love to see that. You can send your speedruns GDQ Hotfix's way at gdq.gg/submit/hotfix. So my point here is, you know, if you start running these, go ahead and submit it because I'd love to see it. Maybe I'll do another episode of SMB2 Kaizo at some point. But of course, you can also submit to any of the other wonderful GDQ shows or just GDQ Hotfix in general. Again, gdq.gg/submit/hotfix. But you can also simply type !submit in the chat for your chance to appear on GDQ Hotfix. Anyway, there's a whole lot more SMB2 Kaizo where that came from, but before I take us into our next quick break, is there anything else from you two before we do so?
I mean, I'm good. I'll be back for the next one. But CO, is there anything you'd like to add? Or maybe, hey, CO, where can folks check you out on Twitch?
Yeah. So feel free to check me out at twitch.tv/CO_Kadelic. I design lots of fan games on stream. I've been obsessed with UFO 50 also lately, but we make time for
CO
both.
is so good at UFO 50. You really want to watch CO play UFO 50. She is
Thanks.
you are really good. Okay, like
I am only that good because of the bingo community, because they have gotten me very good at it.
We remember the speedrun motto. We take those.
Yep. But yeah, I design lots of stuff on stream and off stream. And if you like stuff like this, we do lots of stuff over there too. So I'll be back in a little bit to talk about some more stuff, but have fun in the meantime.
Yeah, and we will also be back in just a little bit. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Parallel Universe on GDQ Hotfix, the show about community-created content. I am Helix, and before we get into more SMB2 Kaizo, I want to really quick shout out Frame Fatales. They're a community of women and femmes who share a passion for speedrunning, gaming, and charity. And in addition to their 2 flagship events, they host activities year-round in their community Discord, like Game of the Month and randomizer events. You can get involved yourself if you would like by typing !FF in chat. But with that, on to Kuzo. Daydreams. GlitchCat7 is still here to play more SMB2 Kaizo for us. So, yeah, let's see it.
I'll play as much SMB2 Kaizo as you like. This is great. This is a cool one. First of all, shoutouts to GBreeze. GBreeze Sunset is a legendary creator. They have made fantastic things in Super Mario World for a long time. They have made Mario Yoshi's Island, Mario 2 stuff. I think GBreeze once said that they have a goal of making a mod in like every major Mario game, which is so great. And when GBreeze decided that they were going to mess with SMB2 a little bit, we all got so excited, like, oh, whoa, like GBreeze is here to make some stuff. And so this is Kuzo Daydream from GBreeze. This is really fun. And what this is going to be a series of short-ish kind of tech puzzle levels that are going to show off a lot of some tech you've already seen before and some brand new stuff that you might not even know the Super Mario 2 engine can do. It says this hack has a lot of tricky puzzles. Not for me, I know the solutions, and we're gonna guide you through them. So, if you're ready on time, in 3, 2, 1, it's a me. Oh yeah, so we love GBreeze. GBreeze is amazing, and first things first, we're gonna do some stuff you've seen. So we're gonna do the sprite levitation here, and we're gonna use 2. Nope, we're not. Okay, now I'm gonna jump in the pit. It's a complex RNG manipulation. But again, these I'll show you how it works. Like, you toss a POW block, and the sprites bounce up just a little bit, right? You're standing on that sprite, and the sprite bounces up even more. And I don't know, I refer to it as sprite levitation. That's just me. You can call it something else if you want. Think up a fun name for it. And then if you're standing on a levitating sprite, you can clip through the ceiling like that. And then we need this mushroom block here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get in the hawk mouth. So we need the mushroom block to get in and stand there. So these levels are going to go by quick, but each of them is going to explore some kind of cool tech property. Now this one is vanilla. If you grab 5 of these big veggies, then the 5th one will be a stopwatch. So we want to get this ninja up in the air so I can grab the mushroom block, ride the ninja down, do a little jump. Remember, there's a fun water slide down there. Ninja's not falling in a pit. They're fine. Fun water slide. They're just like, whee. This is actually, I'm checking chat. These are all vanilla. This is nothing here is custom or whatever. These are all just things that are available in the vanilla game, except for the fact that situations, levels in the vanilla game might not allow us to see them. So by taking the game apart and rearranging it, we can bring out some of these properties. That one went by pretty quick, but we just want to position that mushroom block so that it is underneath the door when the door appears. And here we're going to use kind of a remote levitation, get that bomb through there. And if I'm quick, I was not quick enough. I'm going to chuck that bomb. Wait for it, wait for it. Nice. That's going to blow up the thing. You can't, the hawk mouth is here, but I can't, it looks like Mario's wearing a cool mask. You can't actually walk through the hawk mouth. So here it's being used as a barrier. GBreeze is, in particular, a maker who is just so creative, using all the elements of the game. Like, for example, using a hawk mouth like that as a barrier instead of the actual thing you want to use. Here's one that you might remember from the vanilla speedrun in 1-1. If you're getting bumped by the key and you grab a ladder, you're going to clip through the bottom of the ceiling and then climb out wherever that level's screen is hard-coded to take you. You remember that from 1-1 in the speedrun, how they used the Shy Guy to throw the Shy Guy down the ladder and do that same clip. But here's one you might not have seen, which is the fact that if I chuck this correctly, there we go. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so wait for it. Okay, he's fine. Toad's fine. He's just getting a little squished. He's all right. He's good. You know, his head is round and bouncy. And the key, I'm gonna bounce the key a little bit higher every time, except that it does kind of max out height. So we want to jump up here. We're gonna bounce. I'm gonna wait. Okay, here we go. Keys can cause lots of damage, and we want to defeat the Triclide, but how? That's how. I like that one a lot. In fact, you actually could bounce that key up through a solid floor as well. Those bridges are semi-solid. You can pass through from the bottom, but you could, in fact, bounce that key up through a solid block as well. Now, we've had 2 HP up until this point, but now we're going to grab these mushrooms and we're going to have 4 HP. When you have extra hit points, you cannot... You can do a bounce like that, but falling in a pit will still get you. So what we want to do... Oh, wait. Okay, I'm not going to touch these, actually. You can overflow your health. I am not going to do that because bad things might happen. But just you can do that. So we're going to wait for this bomb to go off, and then that's going to boost us. And we get a little jump up in the air. That's, again, just kind of an SMB2 property. And now we can do that in a kind of a Kaizo one-hit death situation. If you mess that up, you go in the pit. And we don't want to be in the pit. Well, not the pit again. I'm sorry. I keep misspeaking. It is the fun water slide at the bottom. Mushroom blocks. They're strange. What do we want to do here? Well, we're going to grab this. Not like that. Toad, come on. Hey, Toad. Quit it. Toad. We're going to grab that, and we're going to let it come to rest, right? And now I can't move, but what I can do is grab the mushroom block below me. And now this one's just going to sit there. If a mushroom block comes to rest, it's just there. Just permanently. And so we're going to stack up a little ladder like that, and that's how we're going to grab the orb right up here. This is why, and I'm talking about, like, we've seen Mario 3, we've seen Mario World, we've seen a lot of Mario World Kaizos, but Mario 2 just has this really interesting tech. Things that other Mario games don't have. And I don't know, it's really fascinating. I say, if you want to explore, if you're the type that likes to mess around and explore, see what you can create and kind of discover new properties and new applications for tricks, Mario 2 modding is your jam. Here we are again with this Birdo. We saw this in Kaizo Catnap, and we're going to check it out again here in G-Breeze World. We're going to pick up each of these veggies. Come on. We're going to pick up each of the veggies right as the fireball is approaching Mario. You are invincible as long as you're in the item picking up animation. You notice Mario has that kind of like, picking up the thing. That's the sound he makes. You can't hear it, but he's going, because vegetables are really heavy. And so you're invincible while you're doing that. And that's how we avoid all 3 of the fires. We need to be big when we get up there to cross those spikes, and we need to get Birdo out of there in order to make that door appear. So you can think of this kind of like, this one's fun. The rocket's gonna blow up the rocks, which is something I didn't even know when I played this. So we're gonna, here comes the rocket, and we're gonna do it again. But you can think of, take a look. This is good for inspiration. Like these levels are cool. They're fun little tech puzzles, but think about, like, you could combine all of these. You could use these in trickier contexts. You could build a whole level. You could put multiple different tricks that you've seen into a level. So kind of take these as like different colors in your palette. Be a Bob Ross. Use a little bit of alizarin crimson, some Van Dyke brown. You've seen the show. That one, we got the levitating sprite. Once again, those whale spouts are sprites. And if I throw the POW, that will cause the whale sprite to levitate. Levitating sprites clip through the ceiling, and we're off. Okay, this one's tricky. What we want to do is we want to not hurt the Birdo until the proper moment. Birdo is up there, and if I drop a POW, the shockwave is going to frighten Birdo, and she's going to jump down the fun water slide. So instead, we want to save that moment. I want to get a mushroom block right here, because I know where the door is going to appear. I've played this before. And then we're going to get another mushroom block. We're going to bring it over here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up on the wall here, and I'm going to throw it through myself. And that way, there's a mushroom block sitting on the tree. Again, mushroom blocks will sit on anything. And then, if I'm tricky, hardest part coming up, there we go. Refloat right through the gap and into the door. All right, this time we're gonna use the orb. We're gonna jump up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, ow, ow. Hey, quit it, you. Anyhow, barring any unfortunate objections from the sniffet, come on. We want to use that hawk mouth. Sorry, I just noticed the GC7 savings in chat. That's perfect for the big hawk mouth. Very funny, thank you. But yeah, we want to use that hawk mouth to clip through as it opens its big mouth. If we're standing on the top, we're able to clip through one tile of floor and use the mushroom block again to get in. I want to add something else too about the SMB2 edit that D4 made. Not only can you design levels, you can also edit the character physics and combine that with the ability to edit the graphics in like YYCHR. You could make 4 custom characters, right? You could make your own character with their own physics and everything. So keep that in mind for inspiration. In this case here, how do I explain this one? All right, got it. Objects will unspawn. So basically, like, you notice there's an orb up here. If I were to try to jump up like this with the orb underneath me, I wouldn't be able to get through. The orb's gonna bonk my head. So by putting a potion door right here, objects will unspawn if you spawn vertically adjacent to them. Does that make sense? So like the Hawkmouth is a sprite, right? I put a potion door beneath it, and I can enter from the back, don't worry about it. But I put a potion door beneath the Hawkmouth, and then when I come out of that potion door, the Hawkmouth unspawns because it's vertically adjacent to me. Keep that in mind, you'll see that again. This time, the Shy Guy is the boss. Oh, I didn't get it, no. Did I get it? No, I did not get it. So everything freezes. You destroy the boss, and you're gonna notice everything kind of freezes, except for objects that are already in the air. So by throwing that mushroom block ahead of time, and then waiting, I get caught in the boss door appearing freeze, but the mushroom block does not. So it falls through me, and that's the platform that I need when it's done doing that. This one's fun. Okay, vegetable, right? We got one veggie, we got 2 enemies, and they're in the floor. How are we gonna get them? So you know that you can recycle veggies, but did you know that by setting off a POW block, you can get the veggie to jump like this? And as long as it's actually anywhere, if it's in the air, if it's in the wall, if there's a flying veggie and you set a POW off, you're gonna make it hop like that. And we need to use that property to get this veggie, I gotta keep trying, get that veggie up and destroy the hoopster that is in the upper right corner of the screen there. So this one is actually kind of tricky. Oops, takes a couple tries. The POW block does not hurt the hoopster because the hoopster is technically not standing on the ground. The hoopster is on a vine. The Shy Guy is standing on the ground, so the POW block will hurt the Shy Guy, but not the hoopster, which I think is just kind of cool and has some interesting implications for design. There we go. The hoopster is the boss, and then we get the door. I assume, because you're smart and cool, that you are keeping up. But if you do in chat or anyone, if you have questions, if you'd like to learn more, please feel free to shout it out, because I know this is going by kind of quick. Now, potion jump. That was not a potion jump. That's an example of what not to do. I just wanted to make sure you know the difference between, let's check that again, between what not to do and what to do. You can stand on top of a potion. We've seen that in the vanilla run. And then, okay, I'm gonna need silence for this one, so everybody shh. But what I want to do, right, if I'm standing here and I grab this POW, I'm just gonna fall in the pit, and that's not good. I don't want to go on the fun water slide, but I do want to use the POW to get this orb out of the floor, right? And all I have to work with is a potion. So watch this. Shh. Got it. All right, yo, check it out. It's magic. We got 2 POW blocks now. If you pull up the POW block just as the song is ending, if you stand in Subcon World too long, you'll eventually just get automatically kicked out. You don't have to go through the door. But if you pick up the block just as you're getting kicked out, you will grab a duplicate POW block, and that's how we managed to get that, but not actually die. It's right when the song goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's on dut. Just remember dut. Same thing here. We're going to grab 5 veggies, and this time we want to freeze Birdo while she is jumping. That should work. So we're going to freeze Birdo in the air. That way she's not hurt by the POW shockwave. We're going to go over here and set that mushroom block up for the door to appear. And now it's just a simple matter of grabbing that POW, bopping that Birdo, go on the fun water slide, and get in the door ourselves. Dut.
It's I was muted, but I definitely laughed quite a bit when you just remember dut.
Dut.
I don't know, something about that line got me.
we're gonna do a trick that is known to the vanilla speedrunners. This is the sprite elevator, and I'm gonna take a second to explain this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw this Shy Guy, and you're gonna see that the Shy Guy is upside down. Right, the Shy Guy is upside down for a brief amount of time. They are upside down when they're being thrown. They land on the ground upside down, and this one's going to do the same thing. Right, it bounces. It's upside down for a little while. That is stunned state for the Shy Guy. And so what happens is what we want to do is get 2 stunned enemies to collide while they're in stunned state, and then that happens. And also I can do that and make them flash. When 2 stunned enemies collide like that, they just infinitely rise. You can stand on them, and now you're on a rising sprite, so you rise through the ceiling. GG. The good old sprite elevator. And G-Breeze has seen fit to wrap this level up with a cool puzzle. It's not a puzzle for me because I know the answer, but now you're going to know the answer too. We're going to grab this POW, we're going to use this, we're going to levitate that, we're going to go over there. Now that Shy Guy in the upper right-hand corner is the boss, and that's going to make the door appear, but I can't see. Notice there's a space below the door. I can't stand on that. I can't go in the door, so I can't win the level. What am I going to do? I'm going to grab this mushroom block, and remember, mushroom blocks sit on anything. I'm going to throw it on the door right there, and now remember about sprites despawning when they're vertically adjacent to you? That allows me to put the potion door right here, and that's going to unspawn the hawk mouth. Now I can walk through and grab the rocket ship. And the rocket ship's going to go up, and it's going to blow up that. I'm going to spawn over here because reasons, and now I can go through without pulling that up. And now I'm going to remember what to do next, which is grab this. Now we're going to do the same thing, vertically adjacent Shy Guy. Right now the Shy Guy is above, so now the Shy Guy is gone and unspawns. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go over here, throw that, levitate up through, grab this mushroom block. Now the door is not here, so I can go over and I can drop this block right where I need it. We're going to go over here. I'm going to grab the POW block again. Now the Shy Guy has respawned, so now a simple POW just to send the Shy Guy down onto the fun water slide. The door appears, and I'm not going to walk off the edge. No, I'm not. Instead, I'm going to go on the door, and that's time.
The fact that you remembered all that is one of the most impressive things to me.
Oh, thank you.
That was a lot.
I like to play.
Yeah,
we're really socking it to Wart today, man. Wart's having a bad day.
True.
Man, I'm sorry, dude.
All right,
well, yeah, we got Kuzo Daydream from G-Breeze.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Seeing the GGs in chat seemed to enjoy that one quite a bit. Yeah, there's, if you could believe it, we're still not done. There's still more SMB2 Kaizo coming up. So stay tuned. Hey, actually, while you're waiting, everyone, do me a favor. I need you, if you haven't yet, to type !Discord in our chat and welcome back, everyone, to Parallel Universe on GDQ Hotfix. I'm Helix. This is the show about community-created content. We are just about to enter our 4th Super Mario Bros. 2 Kaizo segment, and before I get any further, I will note that we are adding a bonus segment after this. So, after we're done with this level design contest showcase, that's actually not the end of our programming. But really quick, if you missed any of this or any of the Super Mario All-Stars run that was on Do All the Things right before this, you can catch them on our YouTube channel along with all of the other Hotfix shows, special events, and GDQ marathons. That's youtube.com/gamesdoneclick. And by the way, those of you watching on YouTube, I appreciate you. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet. And of course, turn on notifications to stay up to date with GDQ. And without further ado, let's see some of those levels. Glitch Cat, show us what you got.
Yeah. This is exciting, and I hope y'all really like this. I was really excited to pick these out. So, like I said before, both CO and I are staff for SMW Central. And since 2005, SMW Central has been the central hub for Mario World modding online. And we have recently added a Mario 2 section. And we recently had the very first SMB2 LDC, or Level Design Contest. SMW Central does a lot of different contests. They're just for fun, you know, for the community to come together and show off their chops and see what we can experiment with. So I have picked out some of my favorites from the recent Mario 2 Level Design Contest. That's some ones that I really like that specifically I think show off some really creative stuff that the community is doing. We've got 5 to show you, and this first one is untitled by, I see you there, Who is Dupu made this one. Was both CO and I were judges for this. CO, did you have anything you wanted to mention about this one before we start?
Yeah, just that in general, the level design contests are always really fun to see what people actually come up with for stuff. You get a really wide range of levels in this, and honestly, I had fun playing all of them, and the 5 that Glitches picked out are really, really cool, and I'm excited to show them off to y'all.
Yeah. All right, so if we are ready in 3, 2, 1, let's go! That's because Toad, that's what he does. So this is a Toad level, and you might notice, well, you can't tell, but I'm pressing the jump button as hard as I can, and nothing is happening. There's a big gap there. What am I going to do? Oh, see, that's the gimmick. Every time I am in the air, Toad will jump, and no other time. So I want to use that property, which is obviously very custom for Mario 2. That is sort of the gimmick here, and we're going to use that property to clear a lot of these gaps. I absolutely cannot get through here unless I destroy that hoopster. It's a really clever gate. So we're going to do that. And now every time I'm in the air, that's the only time that I can jump. This level really impressed me. As a judge, I thought this was just so, oh man, so cool and creative, and such an interesting gimmick. You know, the thing with gimmicks, you know, you end up wanting to kind of think with the gimmick. One thing changed about the original game has a huge impact and makes for interesting gameplay ouch situations. So yeah, what'd you think of this level?
Yeah, this is really one of the first times I had really seen anything outside of like what SMB2 normally has in it. Like we've mentioned a couple of times throughout this, SMB2 is definitely still very much in its infancy, so a lot of the stuff that before this level design contest came out were pretty much just the things in the game already, slightly modified and made more challenging or whatever. But this level in particular definitely adds a pretty fun custom idea. One of my favorite parts of this level is just grabbing the coin, and because you grab the coin, you end up popping up a little bit here, and popping over our friend here to not hurt him is always nice. And to explain the gimmick, it's basically anytime you would be in the air, you get a little bit of a hop off of it. So you can get that by running off of platforms, you can get that by pulling up stuff. We see pretty much every exploration of that in this level, including here where you gotta kind of pop on and off this Shy Guy before you end up using that Shy Guy at the end to get through. And this segment in particular was my favorite because you get all those little coin bops. And then these like fun reverse runoffs where you gotta like wrap around and stuff.
I want to be the Toad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna reset the room there. That's fine. We're fine. I also want to point out about this level, this has fast retry. I'll show you what that means. You know what? If I fall on a spike, let's just say I didn't do that on purpose, but then I don't actually go to the level start screen again. Notice that the level just loops back around. That fast retry is really helpful. We have that in SMW and other games, obviously, but wasn't a thing, at least as far as I knew, before this in Mario 2, but really helps out with a tough level. You know, with a tough level, you really want to kind of cycle attempts. You die and you want to get right back in there and keep going. So the fast retry definitely helps minimize time spent not playing the level a little bit. And here we go. Yo, the ninjas are gonna help us. They're our best friends. And ninja jump. And there we go. Okay, this fight is actually really hard.
Yeah.
I think it's this one's really tough. If I one shot this, I'm gonna be really, really happy. I have not. Oh, I did it. Oh,
hey,
I did it.
Nice.
Oh, whoa. Well, not yet. Yo, okay. Okay, time on that.
Yeah.
That was great. In all my practice, I did not one-shot that.
Nice.
That was awesome. Yeah, you want to grab the mushroom blocks and hop up, hit the birdo with the mushroom blocks while simultaneously avoiding fire, but you can't jump. So if you want to jump, you have to run off the side and then loop back around. Yeah, that was okay. Wow, that was faster than I had expected.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, thank you. So that is the end of that one. I am going to switch games, and so we'll get the next one in here. That was great. That was really cool. Let's see. Next up, we got G-Breeze. We got another G-Breeze level. Let's see, what number is that? I gotta remember. 18. Okay, and almost in there. All right, yo, next level. This is also untitled. An untitled level. Again, we just saw G-Breeze with Kuzo Daydreams. This is G-Breeze in a totally different way. This is untitled by G-Breeze. Are we ready to go on this one? Can do a countdown again?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right. Also, Sio, did you want to preface this one in any way?
Just once again, these level design contests are really cool for showing off some pretty rare custom stuff in SMB2, and we'll get to see that here again.
Yeah. I just want to highlight too that usually with this kind of custom stuff, the creator of the level had to code this themselves. These assets aren't just available the way they are for Mario World, where there's a big library of different cool assets and things. So G-Breeze made this themselves. They did this code. Dupu made that themselves, just to highlight the skill of the community in doing this kind of thing. This one is really super funny, so let's get ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Gaming. I thought this level was super funny. So, Mario is constantly jumping. Every time I touch the ground, I don't even have to see. Here's my controller. I know it's a Super Nintendo controller. I'm using an adapter. Don't worry, not cheating. I just prefer the Super Nintendo controller feel. I don't have to touch anything, and Mario is just going to jump up and down in the air constantly. Very fun, very funny. Mario is also going to stick to the ceiling. Every time I grab the ceiling, Mario's going to get stuck, and yeah, so that's what we got to do here. We got to get around, we got to get up and avoid the Sparkies, and we're going to do a little stealing. This is also, there's a thing in Mario World, the sticky ceiling, and I think that's what G-Breeze is playing on here a little bit. What'd you think of this one, Sio?
Yeah, this one is really interesting. I hadn't seen any kind of sticky ceiling stuff, and kind of like Glitch was mentioning during Kuzo Daydreams and a little bit during Bunny Bunny Panic. You can do a lot with custom physics in Super Mario Bros. 2. The editor is pretty kind for it, and also you can kind of just do silly little bouncies like this if you want. And
I actually have to. I'm just sitting here and mashing the button because I do actually have to pick up the orb at the end.
I don't know if this is one. There we go. I don't know if that's one frame, but you definitely don't have that much time to pick up that orb. And then even getting into the hawk mouth after is kind of an issue, but nice. Good job.
And that's actually time on that one. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm seeing in chat. Have you ever tried the dog bone controller? I have one here. I just really like the Super Nintendo controller for comfort, so I'm using a Super Nintendo to NES adapter actually to play these. Just my preferred method. Otherwise, I'm just running this on console. But that is G-Breeze's fun, silly gravity level. I am going to switch over to the next one right now.
While you're switching, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I just want to give another shout out to the rest of our Hotfix roster. Head over to gdq.gg/hotfix and check out everything we've got going on. You can also check out the schedule for this upcoming weekend, and you can submit your runs to be showcased. There's a lot of variety, lots of cool stuff on Hotfix all the time, so please make sure you check it out. gdq.gg/hotfix.
We love GDQ Hotfix. It's so fun and great, and I'm just like really flattered to be here. No, this is awesome. Like, thank you.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
having
the
us.
chance to show off what the SMB2 community has been doing. We're a small community, but we're dedicated, and I really like what we make, and I'll never pass up a chance to just kind of get people excited about SMB2 and kind of show that, like, there's a whole big wide world to explore out here. So, you know, like I said, if you're interested in exploration, if you like taking things apart and figuring out what you can do with them, like maybe if you like building with Legos or something, you know, this is very much adjacent to that. You get to explore the tech while you're making something, and there's just so much to discover, especially in all modding, specifically in Mario 2. There's so much unexplored territory, and it's just a fresh open world where you know, we can make our dreams, you know, get it, because Mario 2's in a dream. But this one, Himari's Kiss by Alex. Co, what do you got for this one?
So this is one of my favorites of the contest. It's a really clean level. We'll get into it and you'll see pretty much what I guess it's a gimmick, but it's mostly just a really cool idea and exploration of it. And it's just a really clean level.
Yeah. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Himari. So I want to also briefly touch on why this is called Himari's Kiss. But first, this is the gimmick here. We've got the Hawkmouth boss, and the Hawkmouth boss is going to be chasing us throughout this level. And I have actually been notoriously bad at this one in practice, so I got to get good fast here on GDQ stage. So we're going to have 3 veggies, and we got to make 3 tosses to get the Hawkmouth defeated. That was not a hit on the Hawkmouth. That was not a hit at all. But, you know, while I'm going to try for we got the heart. I'm going to try for a double veggie here, but I'm probably not going to get it. But I want to touch on why this is called Himari's Kiss. There is a Mario World designer of old by the name of Himari. Oh, yo, I got it. Oh, freaking got it. Let's go. Let's go. So Himari made a series of Super Mario World mods, the Hyper series, very infamous for their difficulty. And in one level in particular, it's called That Which Can Eternal Die, a name that should send shivers up the spines of some who know about it. There is an orb which chases you, and that is colloquially referred to, as a Himari orb. So in this case, the Hawkmouth is chasing you like the Himari orb, and that's why this level is called Himari's Kiss. Shoutouts to Himari. And I like this. We've got a little Birdo fight there. Man, okay, I am like, I was told not to apologize, and so I'm like Canadian sorry, not really sorry, but I was told not to apologize for going too fast. That is time on that. I have not done these this fast in practice. Awesome. I did not do this fast. I have never gotten that double hit. I never one-shotted that Dupu Birdo. So yeah, all right, we're moving right on through. We're gonna do, all right, we got 2 more. I'm gonna switch over now.
You're Canadian sorry, so you're sorry.
Sorry, yes. Next up, we're gonna do. Okay, this is the one that won. Yeah, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save break the targets for last. We're gonna do. This one won the contest in some stiff competition, though. This level's a little bit longer, so we're gonna get to see some fun stuff. This is Key's Powerful Delivery Service by some guy 712X. What'd you think of this, Co? I think we all agreed this was like the winner of the contest.
Yeah, I think this was pretty unanimous, and that's saying a lot because honestly, every entry in this was really fun, and especially like the top of this contest was really, really hard to pick a winner for.
Yeah.
But this is just a really creative level from start to finish. Every obstacle is really fun. We'll get to see some fun gimmicks that we've seen bits and pieces of in other fan games so far, but like really explored in this one for pretty much every possible way you could think of. And yeah.
I'm sorry, I just saw that in chat. We got any dirigibles? I love that. I love that. Hi, I'm Boy from Kiki's Delivery Service. I like dirt and dirigibles. Yo, shoutouts to dirigibles. But let's go in 3, 2, 1. Princess Peach.
Shoutouts to being able to pick your character in that one, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
I said shoutouts for being able to pick your character in this level, by the way, which is pretty fun.
You can almost use that like a difficulty slider in some cases, right? You pick, how hard do you want it to be. So in this level, we're going to see some stuff that we have seen before. But like I said, this, unlike maybe Kuzo Daydreams that just shows off the tech, this one in particular is making a level out of it, which I think is just super cool and creative. What's in here? You know what? I've never gotten this before ever. Didn't know that was there. Cool.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah, wow, amazing. But yeah, so we've got a level made out of this. So we're going to see, right, we're using that key levitation again. And yeah, now we're going to get in and do a bunch of cool puzzle segments. I thought it was really, really impressive how they used just good merging of elements to use the conveyor belts along with the key levitation, specifically in World 7. I don't know, really thought that was creative, and that kind of got extra points from me for blending elements together in such a cool way.
Yeah,
it's key delivery service.
I don't think we even mentioned it in any of the other times this has come up, but these conveyor belts are actually only available in World 7. And because of that, you actually, like, if you need to design with these, you got to design a World 7 level. But I think this one did a really good job of using these different elements that we've seen together in various levels to really explore some stuff that we hadn't really seen yet. These little key explorations. Yeah,
we got the conveyor belts in 7 for now. I'm told there's another disassembly coming up that might help us put them anywhere.
True.
I screwed that up.
That's okay.
Well,
shout out to Xkeeper for that disassembly, assuming it comes out.
Okay. So I broke it.
Well,
I think I'm going to have to restart. I'm going to have to turn off my console. Well, no, maybe not. Something broke. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to turn off my console and restart because I broke it. And there goes all my good luck that I've had, so far. I've been running through these so fast, and now it came back to get me. So.
Something had to slow you down.
Let's see, where were we? At number 9.
Sometimes when you're dealing with mods and fan games, that stuff happens. Sometimes when you're dealing with vanilla games, that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're ready to go again. Yeah, that's never happened before. Actually, it's true. That has never happened to me before. Never actually went back down there. So note to self: don't go down there again. But we're ready to start again. If you can keep the timer going or whatever.
Whenever you're good.
We'll just just a little time loss. It's okay.
Just
so once again, get back. Well, it just gives us time to talk about other things.
Yeah. So as you can see here, the key is pretty much used in every single way it possibly could. We do see a lot of the key elevation tech that we've seen a couple of times before. You also get to use it as just a way to clear out enemies and as just a general platform and stuff. And especially the setups where you're like navigating these keys through obstacles and stuff were just really fun and creative. And pretty forgiving, which is nice because I know we've shown off a lot of really tricky SMB2 Kaizo, but not everything in Kaizo in general, but especially in SMB2 Kaizo, has to be super hard.
Yeah.
It just normally has to be kind of one way that you're supposed to do it, and then you get rewarded for actually doing it that way.
Yeah, and I think it's with that, it makes me think that it's worth mentioning. We're talking a lot about Kaizo, we're talking a lot about tech and difficulty, but all forms of level design in this can be unique and interesting. Standard, as we would call it, which would just be not Kaizo, can be just as unique and interesting. And I don't necessarily want to, espouse some kind of Kaizo. Kaizo is the best. Everyone should make hard tech-based things. And I want to just say, if you're interested in making just kind of a normal Mario 2 level that looks and acts like the original, that is great. You are welcome with us. You don't have to be doing this kind of heady tech stuff. All types are welcome in our community, and always will be.
Yeah, some of my favorite entries in this contest, honestly, were the not Kaizo ones that just really took what I consider to be SMB2 level design and just really explored it. But this room in particular is probably one of my favorites in the contest.
I thought this was great. We're going to use the POW to get the key up onto the conveyor, and then we have to keep grabbing these POWs in order to use them and bump the key from conveyor to conveyor. And that's going to get a little bit tricky as we get closer to the end. One more, and yo, we got it. Nice job.
Nice. And you can
I guess
kind
this
of
would
see...
be a little bit easier if I had picked Toad.
Yeah, probably.
I'm dead. Birdo got me. Jeez.
I don't think he killed her, but it was a little too late.
That's okay. We get to do this again.
Yeah. One of the nice things about this segment in particular, you can kind of see all of the plants around here. As we've mentioned a couple of times, generosity in Kaizo is something you can work with. It's a little harder to work with because generally when you're forcing someone to do one thing, it's a little easier to do that sometimes if you just kind of take away every other option. But this room in particular shows that you can still have a little bit of leniency to it. I've never seen that key despawn before either.
Yeah, I wanted to. I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be tricky. I'm gonna throw the key over there and then grab a POW and just knock Birdo out with that. And then I threw the key and despawned it. Nice, GG. GG.
Yeah, like even with...
the leniency too in being able to go up and down. Right, I can load the room again and just go back, and now all the plants are back, and I can just try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez. This is tricky because I have to time... Every character in Mario 2 picks up items at a different rate. Toad picks up the fastest, and so I have to time Peach picking up the plant to like have the POW block in my hands at the moment when I need it, and that can be a little bit challenging. I have to remember to pick things up really quickly. So like I'm gonna use the POW and then immediately pick something else up to have it ready. Oh, okay, there we go, got it. Nice. Okay, this time I'm gonna be a little more careful. I'm gonna do that, put the key right there. Now, whoa, the POW block hit the egg? That's a thing? Did you know about that? That's awesome. We could make a level out of that. That's tech.
You were finding some wild stuff in this level tonight.
Ooh, wow. Okay, I like that tech actually. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make something out of that. That's the joy. That's the joy of modding, is that we just like, oh, I found something. Wow, I'm gonna make a cool level based around this little interesting property.
Yeah, I think like 2 or 3 different levels of Kuzo Daydreams, which we just saw, were G-Breeze like finding silly stuff in the SMB2 Discord and then just making a level out of it.
I like when G-Breeze found that thing where you can hop off the Hawkmouth boss. Did you see that one?
Yeah,
we gotta do something with that.
Well, and there's something to be said too. You've been playing this game for how long, and you are still discovering new things, even live on stream.
Yeah. This room is really silly.
So much of the joy of modding is really just like you nailed it. It's just that joy of discovery. But yeah, this room is really silly. Yeah, Sio, tell us about it.
So, if you don't have the POW in your hands, you can kind of see a glitch entered that jar. And basically, if you don't have this POW in your hands as you come out of that jar, the key will just bop you back into the jar and make you reset the room.
Super funny.
What you end up having to do is keeping this POW block in your hands, specifically to just bounce it around everywhere. This is another thing that at least I personally hadn't seen used this way before this level.
Yeah, I need to be holding the POW block, therefore I cannot pick up the key. So I have to find another way to move the key around, right? And that means bonking on my head like that, which I think is really creative.
Yeah, and we see once again, if you're in a potion or if you're in subcon and hop through and go back to the other side, basically any sprite that's in the same line as you or column will despawn, which lets you get back over there, even though there's the Hawkmouth in the way.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Needing to go into the potion door in order to get the POW block, and then when the potion door times out, you are still holding the POW block. That's so cool. Yeah, that's such a cool little puzzle aspect. Oh.
And another thing I wanted to mention about this level that I personally liked is it is very well checkpointed. And if you do get stuck on like one of the puzzles in this, It's generally just like that one little puzzle you have to figure out, and then you get a checkpoint for it. And that's pretty nice when you're dealing with a lot of kind of unfamiliar elements in a level, and just giving the player kind of the win when they've gotten that.
So did you know keys hurt Wart? Wart, and Fanto hurts me. Like rock, paper, scissors, but Key, Fanto, Peach,
Hurt people hurt people.
Oh, so true. But keys can hurt Wart, so that is how we're going to fight this. I like how at the beginning of the level it said something like, the flavor text said something like, can Wart deal with the combined power of keys and PAL blocks?
Yeah.
We will see. Oh, ouch. I hope this is enough hits. That's not enough hits. Let's see if this is enough hits. Is that enough hits? I gotta get out of here because Wart, gray dying Wart can still hurt you, and if I wouldn't have moved and touched that Wart, I still would have died. So, fun fact, and there we go, time on that one. And nice. that one won the contest, so I bet you can see why. Super good. Love that one.
Yeah, just so really creative level for sure.
Yeah, I say final thoughts. I got one more. We got one more really cool one to show off. This one, you're really gonna like this one. This is really, really cool. So let's change it up now.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and preview this one while you're loading it up, I guess. But most of the stuff that we've seen tonight has been pretty well in the confines of what you would expect for Super Mario Bros. 2 level. This level is kind of more in line with a really, really custom Super Mario World level, which at this point in SMB2 hacking in and itself is like really, really impressive.
Yeah, this one is amazing, and want to give shout outs to Produx, who has done. You're going to see their intense power here. You can already tell by the title screen, right? I mean, just look at this. This is a Mario 2 level. This was made out of Mario 2. But big shout outs to Produx. They have just added a lot of technical things behind the scenes, a lot of quality of life. They are immensely powerful as a designer, and we really appreciate Produx being around to give us such amazing creations. This is it. Break the targets. It's a false dichotomy, unfortunately. Mario or Luigi game does the same thing, so we're gonna select Mario game and get ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So here, I love the little ditto. I like the little ditto. They're so cute. We got to break all the targets in each area to progress. Each area has a restriction, which is shown in the HUD. And we're gonna press A to continue. You have 1 hit point. Pressing select will reset the area, and of course, have fun. Trust me, I will. Get ready for this.
I can hear the Melee announcer in my head.
Yeah. So pretty much every room in this level shows off some pretty cool stuff. Right away, we're starting to see basically almost looking like an SMB1 themed level, but it's also still the SMB2 throwing. We get to see some pretty fun throw chains, which we've seen a little bit in tonight. But this level in particular does a really good job of forcing you to throw things in a really particular way. And I think this is one of those levels that when you're playing it is kind of easy to forget that this is Super Mario Bros. 2, and everything in this, even though it maybe doesn't look like Super Mario Bros. 2, and is kind of just going through all of Mario 2D history here, and also introducing a bunch of brand new custom stuff that, to my knowledge, had not been in SMB2 at all before.
Yeah, it's so remarkable that this is basically just its own game. Like when I played this for the first time for the contest, I was just like, I can't even believe this is real. I need to grab these coins here. That's my time in this area, in case you wonder why I just die. Oh, here we go. We're gonna see the item recycle here. I'm gonna grab that heart again, and I need that. And then we gotta shoo. Okay, didn't get it. But yeah, I'm gonna throw this once, and then toss that again. Hit those 2, and then okay. I don't know. Didn't get it. Okay.
That was close.
Also, stop for a minute to make sure we listen to the awesome custom music, which was like if I recall correctly, you have to basically hex code custom music into this, right? Like, it's not just like load in a song. You have to like do this in the code, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not super familiar with the custom music. Also, shoutouts to being invisible for this room. But to my knowledge, every piece of music that was written for this was basically hand-coded, note by note. And here we're getting to see more characters than you normally get to see in one SMB2 level. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even entirely sure how the creator was able to do this one. But we get to see a pretty wide range of characters here, including Rosalina, who has her own float that just keeps on floating.
In that last section, Wario, the bomb jumps when I jump. And here we go. This is actually the last section in this level. I want to say once again, I got a weird streak going tonight. I have never one-shotted that invisible room, and I just did. So, oh no, oh, I threw that the wrong way. But yeah, we got invisible float, or invisible, that'd be kind of interesting. You're invisible when you're floating. That'd be kind of cool. But infinite float here with Rosalina.
Yeah, since this is coming up on the end, just major shout outs to everyone who made a level for the SMB2 level design contest. I mentioned it during my feedback, but every level I played in that was really fun. And really, really looking forward to seeing what the future of SMB2 looks like if this was the first contest, because I think you and I could both attest that these entries were really incredible.
Yeah, I had just an amazing time with this. The full, all the contest entries would be available on SMW Central. If someone in chat, if you want to play through these, if you're interested in learning more about this, go to SMW Central. We can actually probably even find a link and post it in chat for the thread containing all the different patches, the contest results, everything, the judges, feedback, and everything. Shoutouts, of course, to Red Feathers as well, who was a judge for this. These are so fun to play, and it's nice to get a little bite-sized Kaizo instead of maybe committing to an entire hard hack. Just to get a little bite-sized, just to play a few levels, play one thing that's interesting, and explore, at your own pace. So that was the SMB2 LDC showcase.
That was awesome. There's something about, I think, level design contests that really brings out creativity. I especially love the Break the Targets level, but everything there was super cool.
Yeah, Break the Target, that was really, really cool. But I think we've got one more little special thing to show off here.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Was originally, if you're looking at the schedule, this was our last thing, but we're not done. Actually, there's one more thing to show you all. And while GlitchCat7 gets that up, I am gonna super quick shout out Black in a Flash. They are a community that uplifts and connects Black speedrunners of all levels, offering a space to collaborate on speedruns, challenge runs, and randomizers while celebrating Black voices in the speedrunning scene. You can learn more or apply to join at gdq.gg/BAF and follow at blackinaflash.bsky.social for updates. And this is especially important, they have an event coming up this month, Speeding Through the Holidays. That's December 27th and 28th. But of course, there's also Back to Black 2026 on February 5th through 8th. Make sure you remember those, mark those down in your calendar. You do not want to miss either of those, I promise you. The Black in a Flash team works so hard to bring you these events and, again, to just celebrate Black voices in the speedrunning scene. So huge shout-outs to them. All right, and so, I talked a little bit about this earlier, but I haven't revealed exactly what this extra bonus content is yet. So, GlitchCat, what are we doing?
Well, this is sort of a world debut. Like I kind of hinted at earlier, this is my mod. I have been working on this mod for about 8 years now. This is a sequel to the first SMB2 game that I made, Return to Subcon. This is Return to Subcon 2, the Nova Project. This is something very special to me, something really near and dear to my heart, and something I've really cared about and I've really put a lot of heart into working on for a long, long time. I am not going to play the entire thing. It's very long, and we do want to get to sleep at some point. But I've been allowed graciously to show off maybe the first 3 levels, first world, and just kind of talk a little bit about it, show off what I've been making and kind of give a little preview. This is not out yet. This is a work in progress. It is done. If I were to release it right now, it would be okay. But I, got some finishing touches to put on it, some extra special quality of life things. And after 8 years, I don't want to necessarily rush it at the finish line. So, with that being said, do want to point out too, this is the sequel, Return to Subcon 2. I have a shameless self-promotion here, but I've got a run coming up at GDQ. Awesome Games Done Quick 2026, live from Pittsburgh, benefiting Prevent Cancer Foundation, of course. And I am running Return to Subcon 1, the first SMB2 mod that I made. They have allowed me to run that on Friday during the marathon at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. So be there.
Yes. And I'm sorry to delay us a little bit further, but if you would like to experience that in person, registration is available now through the event. So if you want to go attend GDQ 2026 in Pittsburgh, see this run in person, January 4th through 10th. You mentioned Author Blues earlier. Author Blues is running it's Super Mario World backwards. Okay, that's what Author Blues is running, and that's on opening day, Sunday, January 4th. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on. So check out that, check out Glitchrat's run, check out the whole schedule.
I'm gonna be on the couch for that run. Auth invited me. It's 96 cool. Exit, but it's backwards, so it's Tixie 69, which is so funny. And I'm brushing up on being able to speak backwards. So yeah, if you want to come out to GDQ, it's a really good time.
You can do a better job than I just did. Yes, GDQ.gg awesome. For more information on how you can register. Yeah. But I've delayed us long enough. Let's get into this debut of Subcon 2.
So yeah,
at least the preview.
Yes, Return to Subcon 2, the Nova project. So I'm going to play I think we're going to play the first 3 levels, the first world of this. I've shown this off a little bit on my stream, but this is probably the biggest debut of this. I don't even know what to say. Like, I've been trying to prepare, but like, I'm going for magnum opus territory, and I know that Mario 2 modding maybe can be a little bit intimidating to people. You know what? I'm going to give this speech while we're hanging out in the intro room because we love the ninjas and I just want to hang out with them. So I know that Mario 2 modding can be a little bit intimidating to folks, and I wanted this game to feel accessible. I want you to look at this game and think, hey, I want to try that. I am excited about this. I know, maybe, Kaizo, that's a little bit too hard. I don't know what to do with this. It's too hard or whatever. But I really put a lot of time into this. And I want to give thanks to Dan Salvato, actually. Doki Doki Literature Club, Doki Doki Panic. Coincidence? I think not. Dan, who graciously agreed to join me on the couch for my run at GDQ, who gave me some really good advice about this, which was focus on the casual runners. Let them have fun. The speedrunners are the ones who just like the game and are going to play it a lot. And so with that in mind, here's the first area. We're going to start out with Luigi, and right off the bat, I want you to notice that things are easier than I am making them. And that's this philosophy that I've had where if you do it the casual way, it'll be a little bit easier. But if you do it the speedrun way, now you have to do something harder. For example, you could jump under here, right, and skip this. It's a tricky jump to get under these rocks, or you could take the little bit of a time loss, grab the bomb, and chuck it. You could do this to get up in there quickly, or, to go back down, you could just kind of take your time, throw this guy, get him out of your way, take your time and move slowly. And I wanted it to be accessible in both ways, and I wanted the game to kind of grow up with you. And so with that in mind, actually, if you'll allow me, I'd like to show this level in 2 different ways, this section. The normal way, we're going to go around and we're going to grab these cherries. And you notice I'm just getting each one, taking my time. We're going to get the cherries, we're going to blow up the wall with the bomb, and then 5 cherries are going to create the superstar. Oop, we're going to grab the superstar, we're going to go over here, and we're going to knock out Birdo, right? Knock out Birdo, grab the orb. Now that would be the way that you would do it casually, but I'm actually going to take the dive, and I'm going to show you, I've baked in speedrun strats for this. So just like a real game, right? It's kind of easy, and then when you start to speedrun it, things get a little more challenging. So even, I'm taking some time losses already, but with the speedrun, should have practiced. But with the speedrun, we're going to go over here. Now notice I'm skipping most of the cherries, right? Because I programmed in, and this is a cool reveal, I programmed in a little speed strat here. I think I can still do this small. We're going to grab the shy guy, or Sniffit rather. That's a Sniffit. That's their name. We're going to wait for Birdo. Okay, I got to wait a cycle. See, I could be faster, right? I've lost a little bit of time. I wanted this cool strat to be in the first level because, so it's easy to reset. But there's the strat, right? And that allows us to skip the cherries. It's a little bit harder, but you get to save the time. And I really have tried to focus all throughout this game on that particular duality of making something where the speed run has to do it the hard way, but the casual run is going to get to do it the easy way. And so in this section with Toad, these vine jumps, right? I could grab this and kill the Sparky, or I could just run and slip right past it, right? Same thing for this. I could do some vine jumps. I could grab this, use it to kill the Sparky down there, or save the time by just jumping over it like that. And I've really tried to infuse this game with all kinds of things like that. But Dan kind of had to put his hand on my shoulder and be like, look, like, don't stress out about that too much. Just make it fun for people, and the ones that want to speedrun it will come back, right? That you don't have to worry so much about that. And that, like, thank you, because that really, I was like stressing, like, how do I make every obstacle have a little time save? You know, I want this run to be dynamic, right? Where you might be up 5 seconds and then you're down 5 seconds. Add to that the fact that you have the damage boost, right? I could grab this veggie and use it to kill this guy, but that's a little bit slow. You have that 1 damage boost if you want to skip it and take the time that way. But now it's a little bit more, oh, well, now you die. But it's a little bit more challenging that way. So accessible for the casual run, you can take your time, challenging for the speed run. And the faster you go, the more that level design kind of matures. You know, take an inspiration from just like real games, right? Casual Donkey Kong Country is not so hard, but when you're speed running it, now it gets very challenging. You know, and I like that. And I kind of hope to maybe create a new kind of hybrid speedrun in Kaizo, where there is some leniency, but there also is this linear obstacle course through line of motion. So here we get to learn about different bombs that have different properties. The bob-bombs have a short fuse, and the red bombs have a longer fuse. And think about, you know, there's plenty of places where you could take the damage boost, right? So if you like routing, you know, you can actually kind of figure out where is the proper place to take the damage boost in order to save the most amount of time. We're gonna go down here. Okay, I'm gonna go for the skip. Nice, there it is. I've had a lot of fun. Like I say, this has taken 8 years to really dial this all in. That first level has gone through so many iterations. This level has gone through iterations. I've basically promised myself, cut no corners. Never shrug and say, it's good enough. Cut no corners and always just make it as good as I can. And, you know, try my best to make it something special. So I guess this could be the final level of our little preview showcase right now. And like I said, I love the ninjas. I think they're wonderful. And in this game, ninjas are your friends. In fact, ouch. In fact, I've made it so that you will never harm a ninja. You could if you're feeling rude, but actually harming a ninja will make it so you can't progress. So here the ninjas are just always your friends, and they're always helping you. And we're going to use these ninjas to get in here. We're going to use that ninja to get up, cross over. And we got on the Shy Guy. Get the key. We're going to double back. There's a cloud there, so I can't get here ahead of time. Right? So I can only loop counterclockwise. Get in the door. This little section is designed to teach the players that peach refloat that we talked about earlier. If I jump, I can float at the peak of my jump, or if I jump without floating, I can float on the way down. Here, for example, you could do that, right? That's kind of slow. Or if you want to be a little faster, which I'm not being, then you do the vine jump. There's all these little tiny speedrun optimizations going on. And I don't know, I'm fascinated by that. And I've enjoyed designing with that duality in mind. I am going to forever be annoyed at the small amount of lag that happens when you throw that veggie, but some things can't be helped. This ninja We're gonna wake this ninja up out of their room. This 1-up is here to block you so I can't scoot through the top. And we're gonna put this ninja in the pit. They're just a friend. They're helping us. We're gonna grab this and use the tech that we've learned to scoot right across there, get out this hole in the ceiling. And then even like in this section, like you could drop down here and scoot through this way, or you could scoot through this way, whatever, you save a little bit of time. Maybe you want to take the damage boost right there. I'm gonna get close to that ninja so he jumps out of the pit, get the bomb to blow up, and chuck this guy in there. I got the slow cycle. Notice I lost a little bit of time there. And you can do the 1 veggie on this birdo if you have the damage boost, right? You get 1 veggie and get on the spikes and use that veggie recycling trick to get the 1 veg strat for this birdo, but we'll get the 3, and there we go. And that would be the end of World 1. I think that's my whole preview. I'd be happy to show more if we want, but good to do a little teaser, show it off there. I'll leave that up to you.
Thank you so much for being available to preview this. This was really cool.
Absolutely.
Actually, I wanted to ask a couple questions, actually. I mean, you've been working on this for a while, right? I mean, you can see, you all watching can see the release here at the top. It says 2018 to 2026. That will be 8 years. How has this project changed over the last 8 years? I know that, at least in my experience within the monkey ball modding community, that people continue to innovate, resources continue to be developed, and things are constantly changing. Has that impacted the development of this project?
Yes, absolutely. At first, I'd say I've gotten rid of 10 levels at least, completely scrapped them, completely redone them. A lot of this is like really old. This level actually in particular, this 2-1, it's actually kind of cool. Can I show you it while I talk about this? Is that okay?
Go for it. Yeah, I mean, we're yapping anyway, so.
Okay, you're gonna like the tech. The tech is that quicksand refreshes the bomb timer. That's what's going on here. That's not something you're gonna see in the vanilla game, but it's something you get to see here. But yeah, so like I have scrapped like this, for example, this intro room went through 4 or 5 iterations, and I've just scrapped it and remade it and redone it until I really feel like it's smooth. Playtesters helped me out so much to just like show me little blind spots in my design, places where I maybe had a soft block or something wasn't legible. They didn't understand what to do. On top of that, like we mentioned with Bunny Bun, we didn't know when I started making this, we didn't realize that blanking out all the level data in the game would help World 6 not to crash. Produx made some fixes in the meantime that help World 6 and 7 not crash as much. And just spending so much time. This obstacle in particular, this doesn't look like much, but this one right here with this little toss, I'm dying to show you this. But this little downward motion with the toss, I spent like months trying to figure out an obstacle to go here because what I had wasn't working. I had this silly little move where you crouch and jump through a small gap, and players got confused and playtesters didn't like it, and people were like, why is this here? And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, I have to think of something better. But yeah, just months and months of kind of not knowing. Sometimes the creative process is editing, and sometimes the creative process is just sitting and staring at a blank sheet of paper or a blank level design on your computer and not knowing what to do, and just sitting there and waiting until something happens. Literally, I have actually spent months designing some of these levels. I'd make a little bit, okay, I can't think of anything, come back to it later. And there's a lot of like behind the scenes, there's a lot of little, like, I call them like load-bearing trees. For example, the little see the chain right next to me there? The quicksand actually extends 3 blocks down. The chain is hiding that. And there's like blocks that are hiding the fact that the quicksand looks different. The semi-solid right there hides the quicksand. See the little spike up top here? We're gonna reset the bomb once, gonna get both of these guys and then run back in here to reset it again. You can one cycle this, of course, but it's a lot more challenging. Or little quality of life things like the fact that I'm standing right here. One of these vine segments is solid because if you're climbing a vine down the transition, you will change screens. But if I were to fall in the pit and not climb the vine, I would fall in a pit and die. So we added that. Just so many little things like that have taken right here again, so you don't fall in the pit. Stuff that's just taken such a long time. But like I said, I don't want to cut any corners, and I'm really going for just kind of magnum opus on this one. And so last thing to show off. Oh yeah, go ahead. Well, we're gonna dump Birdo in a pit and then magic.
You sort of answered this already, but I also wanted to ask, and CEO, you can answer this too because you're still here, about your different dev styles of not only YouTube but different all the other creators. And I mean, I'm sure you collaborate in some ways, maybe take inspiration from each other and iterate on each other's ideas. Give me some insight into how your work combines with others' work, I suppose.
CEO, do you want to start on that one?
Yeah. So, being a part of the Mario community for I don't even know how long now, like 8 years, 9 years. You have your own ideas that you bring to the community, but also the community is definitely pretty influential on both just like, for instance, playtesting. Like I help playtest a lot of this, and even just some of the obstacles that I'm seeing now are like a direct result of some of the feedback that I've given. Glitch is the same way with me. I think Glitch actually tested my first Super Mario World game. And
you were so helpful playtesting this. You caught so many things, and I'm really grateful for that.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, like just kind of bouncing back and forth. I've always kind of thought of level design as a drawing that you can also play afterwards. And sometimes with any art in general, your stuff gets interpreted a little differently by someone else who's looking at it with a different set of eyes. And generally, the more eyes you can get on that to try to, I guess, generalize might not be the right word, but try to make sure that the ideas that you're trying to get across are the ones that other players are seeing. It can sometimes be a pretty big struggle, especially in SMB2, since the canvas of stuff that you can work with is a little more limited than some other games. You got to be a little more creative with how you approach some stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say, like for me, I mean, there's a lot of community. I get inspired by something. I see someone make something. I'm like, oh, I gotta try my own version of that idea. But definitely, I think, especially with this project, is like kind of maker bias. We talk about that a lot in the community. Like, I know how to do the thing because I made it, but someone else is going to approach it and they don't know what's up. And so understanding where my own blind spots are by having someone like CO check it has been so helpful, and has like, oh yeah, why would they know how to do that? Oh yeah, I got really good at that jump in particular, but a new player is going to struggle with that immensely. Actually, one thing I do sometimes is play like with the controller like upside down, or play with a keyboard, or play with a different controller. So I notice things like that, where I notice, I only gave them one tile to land on instead of two. I should widen that a little bit. I wanted to say, like, the community playtesting has been so helpful for this. It would not be able to be this good without it. I really appreciate that.
I think pretty much everyone who makes stuff in Mario is eternally grateful for their playtesters.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to show off this character. I was going to actually ask about her on the title screen.
Okay, we can. You know what? This is a great place to stop, actually.
Yeah.
But I will show this off. I want to say thank you to an artist in our community named the Borgie Man. He's a fantastic artist. And this is my own. I'm not going to play this because this is a puzzle, and I'm not going to show you the answer. You're going to have to wait. It's a secret. Shush. But this is Nova. I decided that Mario was not that interesting of a character, so I designed a new character with new physics. Her name is Nova. Please say hello to Nova. This is her debut on the big stage. She has a little bit of Peach's float, like this. She runs quickly like Toad, and she has a small 2-tile jump, but a big super jump like this. And she is the embodiment of Subcon itself. She is Nova, and she is the Nova of which we speak in the Nova project. So you will get to play levels as her in this game when it comes out. But this is a puzzle, and I'm not gonna reveal the solution. But we would like to introduce Nova onto the world stage, and just let everybody say hey. Check it out. Also, Borky made these wonderful graphics with the little floating. Her hands go up, her little feet go back, and then of course, got to show off Small Nova. See, she's extra small, and we like that too. Little Small Nova. So yeah, I hope maybe you'll look forward to that coming up maybe sometime. I want to say maybe February or March of this coming year. We're gonna have this one.
I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to put you on the spot. So keeping it vague is probably good. Yeah.
February or March. I'm hoping. I mean, it's time. It's time to put this out. Yes. At the same time, like I said, I don't want to rush it at the finish line, and I want to make sure I make the best thing I can so that people have a lot of fun, and hopefully this will be a fun, enduring speedrun for a long time to come. I'm really excited to see what people do with it. It's kind of, you as a creative, you spend a lot of time making something like that's your baby. You cared about that so much, and
I understand
you put that out, and maybe someone's gonna like it, someone's gonna get stuck, someone's gonna struggle, but I wanna do the best that I can, and know that I did the most I could before I release it to make sure that people have the best time possible. So hopefully we can have a fun adventure.
And that kind of ties into Parallel Universe and the other Hotfix content. I don't want to speak for all of our showrunners, but I feel like a lot of times, we put a lot of passion into creating these showcases and creating these events, and sometimes, they become our baby. These events, we put so much passion into them, they mean a lot to us, and that's, in a lot of ways, the point of Parallel Universe. This is very fitting to talk about, given that this is the 50th episode, which, by the way, thank you all for everyone who's ever tuned in to Parallel Universe. Thank you for enjoying this, being the reason that this Hotfix show continues to grow. It continues to, have episodes every 2 weeks, 10 p.m. Eastern, every other Friday. There's so much passion and so much time and so much creativity and innovation poured into these projects, and so often they just don't get shown. And yes, this show, because it's on GDQ, leans into, it takes sort of a speedrun slant, right? Just naturally. But there's so much that goes on. And speedrunning happens to be a good way to showcase these. But I encourage people, if you ever see something on the show or something on Hotfix or the GDQ channel at all, ever, if you see it, you think to yourself, oh, I'd love to play that, please go and do so.
Yeah.
There's always new experiences to be had, whether it's a game you've played before or a game you haven't. So yeah, this is.
Can I add to that?
Yes, absolutely.
I was going to say, can I add to that, Helix? I want to say thank you for having me on. This has really been an honor, and I just appreciate your kindness. And I'm trying to live my example when I say, if you like something, there are so many artists and showrunners and modders putting things out there. Tell them. Tell people that you like their stuff. Say, hey, thanks, I really enjoyed that. It means so much. People really like to hear that. And sometimes people think, someone else will do it, Be the one. If you can, be the one. Be honest, be forthright. It's not cringe to like things and enjoy things. And, live your passions. I think that's really important.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's a very nice message, and that's so important. So then I am going to now tell you that I very much enjoyed everything you've done on Hotfix tonight. I am actually super impressed by...
Thank you.
You just played so many different levels and so many different mods. I am actually super impressed by your ability to keep them all together in your head and nail so many levels in a row. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, follow Glitch if you're not, because this happens all the time over on his stream.
Yes, vouch. And one more shout out before I start wrapping things up for tonight. I saw BD in chat earlier, and I need to shout out BD because I reached out to BD a couple months ago about hey, it's finally time that I do a Kaizo showcase. And BD led me to you, GlitchCat. And I ended up kind of tabling this for a couple months because I realized I was rushing it, and I was like, this needs a little bit more time. I don't want to rush Kaizo because there's so much cool stuff. And then I came to you again a little bit later being like, I want to give you the full show me what you got. And you absolutely did not disappoint. So shout out BD for leading me to you, and then shout out to you, GlitchCat, for having this all prepared and absolutely nailing it. With fantastic commentary to boot, and thank you as well, CEO, for helping out in that regard. This was fantastic.
Thank you for having me. This is a blast, and thank you to BD for everything she's done for every Mario community at this point, as well as all the Games Done Quick stuff.
Yeah, as well as Fatales as well. But that does it for us here at Games on Quick Hotfix for tonight and for us here at Parallel Universe. If you missed any of this, or if you missed any of Do All the Things in the Mario All-Stars run before this, stay tuned as we will replay both shows right after we're done yapping here. As for our next live content, you can tune in right here at twitch.tv